Welcome to Managing the Future, the MIS podcast. Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into an incredibly powerful tool. It's really fundamental for any future business professional, Excel. Specifically, we're exploring Module 26, Introduction to Data Analysis with Excel, and we're drawing essential insights from the textbook Connect Master, Management Information Systems. That's by Richard Tedmon and Tedmon Wilhelm, McGraw Hill, 2024.
Exactly. And this deep dive is really designed with you in mind, our college students, our future business leaders. The goal is to help you get a real grip on key concepts and, the practical applications of MIS. We want to make these sometimes complex topics clear, engaging, really directly applicable to your future careers. You'll see how mastering Excel isn't just about making spreadsheets look neat. It's genuinely about making smarter business decisions.
Okay, so whether you're maybe prepping for a crucial meeting or trying to catch up on this field, or maybe you're just really curious, get ready for hopefully some significant aha moments. And look, if you find this deep dive valuable, please do like, subscribe, follow, share, and comment. It helps you stay updated and helps you join our growing community. Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. When we talk about Excel, people often think about simple spreadsheets, maybe for lists or basic calculations, but this tool is so much more than that, isn't it? It's really a cornerstone in pretty much every sector. A true business Swiss Army knife, as some say.
That's a great way to put it. What's really fascinating is how Excel just seamlessly integrates into so many critical business functions. It's like the engine running under the hood for data management. Think about sales and marketing, for instance. It's used heavily for budgeting campaigns, deep data analysis, even things like A/B testing.
Yep, A/B testing, like comparing ads.
Exactly. Comparing two versions of an ad, maybe, to see which one performs better with your audience. And in sales specifically, well, it's indispensable. Forecasting future sales, generating performance reports, calculating sometimes quite complex commissions, managing inventory levels. It's all in there.
So it's not just a back office thing. It's actively shaping forward-looking strategy.
Precisely. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, in accounting, Excel is absolutely vital. Budgeting, forecasting financial performance, meticulous data entry.
Account reconciliation.
Yep, reconciliation, comprehensive tax planning, and maintaining those really crucial audit trails that ensure transparency. Then if you look at banking and finance, it's the absolute go-to. Building intricate financial models, generating reports, managing huge portfolios, detailed market analysis, even pricing complex options, calculating loan amortizations. It's everywhere.
And it's not just finance or sales, right? I've heard it's deeply embedded in fields you might not expect, like medicine and science. That always kind of surprises me.
Yeah, it does surprise people. And it raises an important question. Why? Why is it so pervasive across such different fields? Well, in medicine, for example, it helps with critical research, tracking patient data, managing clinical studies, handling complex billing. For science, it's used for rigorous data analysis, creating insightful visualizations, building scientific models, detailed chemical analysis, ongoing environmental monitoring, even genetics research. It's just a truly versatile program. It offers this wide range of add-ins, functions, and tools for complex calculations, advanced stats, and really meaningful data analysis.
Okay, so it's one thing to have all this raw data, these numbers,
Right.
But it's another thing entirely to make that data speak, tell a compelling story. And that's where Excel, for me anyway, really shines, turning raw numbers into visuals that can totally shift how you see things. Let's dive into the art of charting.
Data visualization is absolutely crucial. You need it to demonstrate results, spot trends, and really assist with making informed decisions. And at its core, creating a chart is straightforward. You just select your data range. Yeah. Excel's pretty smart then. It offers a range of chart types designed for different jobs.
So how do you choose? Which chart do you pick for which situation? What are the most common types that really help you get a message across effectively?
Well, the Connect Master textbook points out three key types that are, the real workhorses in business. First, you've got bar graphs. These are best when you're comparing multiple distinct items, maybe sales performance across different product lines, or comparing budgets year over year. They give you that clear side-by-side view.
Okay, makes sense.
Second, line graphs. These are ideal for showing changes over time, perfect for tracking trends. Imagine showing how your website traffic has grown each month or how stock prices have fluctuated. It shows the flow.
Right, the ups and downs.
Exactly. And third, pie charts. Now, these are excellent for comparing different parts of a whole. Think about how a budget is split across different departments or the market share of competitors. They show proportion really quickly.
Okay. Bar, line, pie. Got it. But what about making sure these charts aren't just pretty pictures, but actually clear and informative, so your audience instantly gets the message.
Yeah, that's crucial. That's where the chart elements come in. A good title gives immediate context. What is this chart even about? Axes identifiers need to clearly show what's being measured on the horizontal X and vertical Y axis. No guesswork needed. Data labels can display the actual numbers right on the chart, which is super helpful. And a legend explains what different colors or lines represent, especially if you have multiple data series.
And you can add and tweak these easily.
Oh yeah, very easily using the Chart Tools tabs. And remember, using colors strategically can really help. You can use them to signal specific things, maybe red for losses, green for gains, or highlight risk factors. And the beauty is, if your underlying data changes, you just update the spreadsheet, maybe press F9, and the chart updates dynamically. It keeps your visuals current with minimal fuss.
Okay, dynamic charts are great, but before you can even get to analyzing or visualizing, you often need to get the data ready. And that leads us to, well, the absolutely crucial topic of data cleansing. It's a step I think many people overlook, but it can totally make or break your analysis, right?
Oh, absolutely. Data cleanup is critical and, yeah, often underestimated. Because unstructured, inconsistent, or just plain dirty data can lead to profoundly incorrect conclusions. Think about it. If your customer database has typos, duplicate entries, inconsistent product names, you're not just being inefficient. You could be actively misinforming your marketing, sending duplicate emails, or worse, making big strategic calls based on flawed numbers.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
It's not just about tidiness. It's about protecting your entire data-driven strategy. Common tasks. Removing duplicates, getting rid of weird special characters, trimming extra spaces, validating data entries. In business, this means fixing inconsistent formatting, dealing with missing values, standardizing product names, handling outliers. The list goes on.
So what tools does Excel give us to tackle this data mess? Are there some unsung heroes in there?
Definitely. Excel has powerful built-in tools. You can use simple things like find and replace for quick, uniform changes. Or text-to-column, super useful for splitting data that's jammed together in one cell. And conditional formatting. That was particularly powerful. You find it under the Home tab in the Styles group. It lets you make interesting data visually jump out.
How does that work?
You set rules based on your criteria. Imagine automatically highlighting all sales figures below a certain target, or instantly spotting duplicate customer IDs just by their color. It guides your eyes.
Okay, so once your data is sparkling clean, the next step is making it truly usable, right? Especially when you're dealing with massive spreadsheets. So we move from cleaning to, I guess, clever organization. What does this mean for making data easier to work with?
Right. It naturally leads us to concepts like named ranges and structured referencing. Creating a named range is simple but powerful. You just assign a meaningful descriptive name like Q1 sales instead of A1.B10 to a cell or a range of cells. This adds huge clarity, especially in complex formulas. It makes spreadsheets easier for others and your future self to understand.
Yeah.
Plus, it helps create dynamic formulas and charts that automatically adjust as your data grows.
And tables. You mentioned tables.
Yeah, you can easily convert a range of data into an official Excel table via the Insert tab. Once it's a table, you unlock structured referencing. Instead of cell references, your formulas look like sales table revenue. It's incredibly intuitive to read and understand. And the table automatically expands as you add new rows or columns, so your formulas just keep working.
Okay, clean data, well organized. Now let's get into the more advanced stuff. Beyond the basics, Excel has functions that really unlock deeper business insights. Let's talk about how it handles dates, its powerful logical functions for decision-making, and its incredible ability to look up specific bits of information.
Okay, dates first. Accurate date handling is absolutely vital for so many analyses. Tracking projects, calculating payment terms, managing payroll. You need dates to be right. Common advanced date functions include date itself, which lets you build a specific date from year, month, day numbers. Then there's date if, great for calculating the precise difference between two dates, like how many months has a customer been active. And network days is essential for business planning. It finds the number of working days between two dates, excluding weekends and optionally holidays. Super useful for project deadlines or SLAs. Excel is also pretty smart about handling different date formats and can often autocorrect common entry mistakes.
Okay, dates are crucial. What about logical functions? The name suggests they involve making decisions based on data.
They absolutely do. A logical function is basically a true-false question you ask your data. It helps you evaluate conditions. For instance, you might use AND B35, B310 to check if, say, a sales quantity falls within a specific target range, the if function is probably the most versatile. It lets you return one result if a condition is true and a different result if it's false. Think about assigning pass or fail based on a test score or bonus eligible based on sales figures.
So you can automate decisions.
Exactly. Other key logical functions include false, not if error, which is great for making your spreadsheets look cleaner by hiding error messages and or. And often you'll nest these together. You combine if with and or to build more complex, nuanced decision rules right within your spreadsheet formulas, like building little decision trees.
This leads to a big question. When you've got these huge data sets, maybe thousands of rows, how do you efficiently pull out the specific piece of data you need without manually searching forever?
Yes. That's where pivot tables and lookup functions become absolute lifesavers. A pivot table is like a dynamic analysis powerhouse. It lets you quickly summarize, analyze, explore, and present complex data, especially large data sets. You basically rearrange and aggregate information on the fly.
How does that work in practice?
You start with your organized data. You select it, insert a pivot table, and then you get this field list. You just drag and drop fields into different areas, rows, columns, values, filters. It lets you instantly answer questions like, what were our total sales by region and product category last quarter, without writing complex formulas.
Okay, pivot tables sound powerful for summaries. What about looking up one specific value? You mentioned different lookups.
Right. A lookup function, generally speaking, is designed to find a value in one range or array and return a corresponding value from another. Historically, VLOOKUP, vertical lookup, was the go-to for finding data in columns.
I've definitely used VLOOKUP.
And HLOOKUP, horizontal lookup, did the same for rows. But honestly, the real game changer now is XLOOKUP.
XLOOKUP, what's different?
It combines the best of both VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP and fixes many of their limitations. It can search vertically or horizontally. It can search to the left or above the lookup value, which VLOOKUP couldn't easily do. And it's just generally more flexible and less error-prone. It's a modern standard, really.
So learn XLOOKUP.
Definitely. Although, for ultimate flexibility, especially with really complex lookups or non-standard table structures, many advanced users still rely on the powerful duo of index and match.
Index and match. That sounds more complicated.
It's a bit more involved to set up, but think of index and match together as Excel's superpower for finding any specific piece of data, no matter where it is. ManCH finds the position, like the row number of your lookup value, and index returns the value from a specific cell at that position in another range. Unlike VLOOKUP, it's not restricted to searching in the first column and looking right. You can look anywhere, return from anywhere. It gives you incredible control. The syntax looks like index return range, match change lookup value, lookup range. Powerful stuff once you get the hang of it.
Wow, okay. So lots of ways to find data. Now, let's shift gears a bit. What about looking ahead, exploring possibilities? Let's explore tools that help you anticipate the future, make truly strategic decisions. We're talking about what-if analysis and the forecast sheet function. These seem focused on what could happen.
Exactly. What-if analysis in Excel is all about exploring different scenarios. You change input values and instantly see the impact on your key outcomes. It's perfect for asking those what-if questions. There are three main tools for this. First, Scenario Manager. This is ideal when you want to model distinctly different complex situations. For example, you could model different interest rate scenarios, low, medium, high, to see how each might impact your company's home sales or maybe loan profitability. You set up your base data, define the variables that change, and then run the different scenarios to compare results easily.
Okay, so comparing whole scenarios, what else?
Second, data tables. These are brilliant for seeing how changing just one or two input variables affects a specific formula's result. You get a table showing all the possible outcomes side by side. Imagine seeing instantly how different combinations of unit price and advertising spend affect your projected profit. Very clear comparison.
And the third one, Goal Seek.
Yes, Goal Seek. This one kind of works backward. It's for when you know the result you want to achieve, but you need to figure out the specific input value required to get there. For instance, if you know you need to hit a specific profit target, Goal Seek can tell you exactly what sales volume you need to achieve it, assuming your other variables stay the same. It finds the input for your desired output.
Okay, so what if helps explore possibilities? What about actually predicting future trends based on past data?
That's where the forecast sheet function shines. It's an incredibly powerful tool built right into the Data tab for creating forecasts and visualizing future trends based on your historical data. You need your data organized properly, usually with a date or time series column, and a corresponding values column like past sales figures over months or years. You highlight that data, click Forecast Sheet, and Excel generates a forecast chart, complete with confidence intervals. Those intervals are key. They show the potential range of outcomes, reflecting the uncertainty inherent in any forecast.
So can you tweak the forecast?
Yes. You can configure options like how far into the future you want to forecast, the forecast end date, the confidence level you want to use, and you can even ask it to detect and account for seasonal patterns in your data. It's fantastic for sales forecasting, demand planning for inventory, resource allocation, really any kind of trend analysis where understanding the likely future path is critical.
Okay, forecasting is looking ahead. Speaking of the future, Excel itself isn't standing still, is it? It now includes these incredibly powerful add-ins, sometimes called the power tools, and it's even integrating artificial intelligence. This feels like the real cutting-edge stuff now. Let's talk about Excel's power tools and Microsoft Copilot.
Absolutely. These tools are designed for much more sophisticated data analysis and visualization, letting you go way beyond what basic Excel could do just a few years ago. And yeah, they often work together beautifully. First up, Power Query. Think of this as your data transformation and preparation engine. It's incredibly robust. It helps you import data from almost anywhere other spreadsheets, databases, websites, folders of files. Then use its interface to clean that data, reshape it, combine it, filter it, basically get it into exactly the format you need for analysis, and then load it into Excel or a data model.
And it stays connected.
Yes, that's a key feature. It creates a dynamic connection. If your source data changes, you just refresh the query, and all your transformations run again, updating your analysis. It saves enormous amounts of time on repetitive data cleaning tasks.
Okay, so Power Query gets the data ready. Then what?
Then you often move to Power Pivot. Once you have clean data, Power Pivot lets you work with massive data sets, millions, even hundreds of millions of rows, far beyond Excel's normal worksheet limits. Crucially, it's where you build relationships between multiple tables, creating a relational data model right inside Excel. And you perform advanced calculations using data analysis expressions, or DAX.
DAX sounds like another language to learn.
It is, yes. DAX is a powerful formula language specifically for data modeling. It lets you create much more sophisticated metrics and key performance indicators, KPIs, than standard Excel formulas. Think time intelligence calculations, complex filters, ratios, really deep analytics. You then use these robust data models as the foundation for creating much more powerful pivot tables and pivot charts.
So Power Query, Power Pivot, and then Power BI, is that part of Excel too?
Power BI is Microsoft's dedicated business intelligence service, but it integrates very tightly with Excel and uses the same underlying engines, Power Query and Power Pivot, DAX. So you can do your data prep in Excel using Power Query, build your data model using Power Pivot, and then you can actually publish that Excel workbook directly to the Power BI service online. From there, you create fully interactive reports and dashboards that you can share across your organization. They can explore the data visually, drill down, filter. It's designed for broad consumption of insights.
Okay, Power Tools handle the heavy lifting. And then there's the AI aspect. Microsoft Copilot. This sounds like a really different way of working with Excel.
It really is. Microsoft Copilot is an AI assistant designed to make Excel data analysis much quicker, more intuitive, and maybe even more creative. It's like having an intelligent partner right there in your spreadsheet. As you select data or start typing formulas or even just describe what you want to do in plain English, Copilot can provide suggestions, autocomplete formulas, offer contextual guidance.
So it writes formulas for you.
It can help write them, yes, or explain existing ones. It can also suggest the best chart types for your data, identify outliers or trends, and generally help you explore your data more efficiently. It can be a great resource for trying different approaches or learning new analysis methods.
But there must be a catch, right? You still need to know what you're doing.
Absolutely. And this raises a really important point. While Copilot and other AI tools are incredibly helpful for speed and exploration, you must always critically review and double-check the results and formulas they suggest. Ensure they're accurate, they make sense in your context, and they fully align with your specific business goals. The AI is a tool, a powerful assistant, but your human judgment, your understanding of the business context, remains absolutely paramount. Don't blindly trust the AI output.
Good advice. Okay, well, that really wraps up our deep dive into the incredibly powerful world of data analysis with Excel. We've leveraged those insights from ConnectMaster, Management Information Systems by Tedmon and Wilhelm. We've covered, wow, quite a bit. Everything from its broad fundamental applications across business sectors to those specialized functions that unlock deep insights, and even touched on the cutting-edge integration with AI like Copilot.
Yeah, we really hope this deep dive has given you, our listeners, especially you students, a clear understanding of how Excel can be, well, maybe your most valuable asset in managing the future of business. It's about transforming you from just a data consumer into a strategic data analyst.
So, thinking about everything we discussed, what stands out to you from today's deep dive? Is there a specific Excel function or maybe one of those power tools that you're now most excited to explore further for your own future career? And maybe, how do you envision using it to tackle a real-world business challenge you might face? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear them. Thank you so much for joining us on Managing the Future, the MIS podcast. If you enjoyed this deep dive and found it useful, please remember to like, subscribe, follow, share, and comment. It really helps us stay connected and ensures you won't miss another deep dive into the fascinating world of management information systems.